What's up, everyone? My name is Rapha, aka RandomRapha. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you like it here. And if it's not, hey, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I really, really missed you, and I'm being for real. I really missed you. And change of scenery right here. If you watch some of my videos, especially when I do my sit down talking videos or whatever videos I've done so far. Did it in my creative workspace, but doing a little bit different. Doing like, well, it's not old school because now everyone I've seen on YouTube is doing just like handheld, unpolished, unedited vlogs right here, talking videos, or I would consider these hot videos. It doesn't have to do with like attractiveness or temperature. Which, speaking of temperature, it's not too hot, not too cold. Autumn is here, or fall, but hot videos stands for hot, honest, open, and transparent videos. As I do my very best in doing so, but I wanted to do this video right here to give you an update on what has happened and what's the future of my YouTube channel, because it has been a while, and I have said that a lot. And I know, looking back at the content I've posted so far this year, even though I wish I posted the content that I wanted to, but that didn't happen. But the hot videos I posted this year at the beginning of 2025, was I being hot? Absolutely not. And I just rhymed. Call me Shakespeare. But just honest is the word right here. I don't know what I was saying. It did not make any sense. I was making word salads, than making sense. And the thumbnails, I know it's either the thumbnails would be like, get it all overhyped like certain creators that you possibly might know. Or again, going back to the unpolished, unedited thumbnails, but I try to just find that happy medium of that. And of course I use vidIQ when I can. Oh, it's starting to sprinkle a little bit, but I'm under the little bit of a shade right here. But I don't know. I tried to say what I was supposed to say earlier this year, but did not happen. And there was a lot that was going through that time, and it really showed. And it went through the entire year just like going through a lot of things, which I want to clear things up right here. I think some of you probably know that I have been all over the place for the past 5 years, ever since the beginning of the Panini, or Panasonic, or Panera, what some people call it. But even that time, there were lots of like great things happen. And first of all, when everything changed in 2020, like I had jobs here and there that had to do with like, I'm a dancer and choreographer, and I do acting on the side. But things changed, and I had a non-creative job that was really helpful. Like, it provided a steady income for, paying the bills. And especially mid 2020, that's when I started working on the documentary for the community. And then time goes by, I slowly got back into dancing and choreography, but not like choreographing a lot. I did a little bit of teaching, but I worked in the dance industry a little bit of time while focusing on the documentary. And the skills that I developed while creating content for either my YouTube channel, social media, and working on the documentary film, I am now creating content for other people, or people would say clients, and for small businesses, and do a little bit of collaborations here and there. That's wild for me as someone who is currently has, I think I have 1,100 subscribers right now. I reached 1,000 at the beginning of this year, but that's a lot for someone who is like a nano creative here on my YouTube channel. But I have more on my Instagram. I think I have like 1,000 more. I don't know. Numbers don't matter. But, and of course, creating content. Like, I really, like, buckled down and really created content for the past 5 years. But in the midst of, like, everything was all great, I tried to balance out with work, content, documentary, and being there for my parents. Long story short, I almost lost my dad just a few days after I started working on the documentary in 2020. And thank goodness he was alive. But since then, I have devoted the time that I had every single day to being there for my parents, especially for my dad. But even like some times when I have to go away, whether if it's documentary work or for the freelance jobs that I have to do, I would get so anxious about not being there for my parents. And it has improved a little bit, but things got a little bit different this year. So beginning of this year, I had full hope that everything was going to be great. I had expectations to move. I was really devoted and motivated to finish the documentary film, really creating content, especially reaching 1,000 subscribers. Everything was going great. But something was not right within me. And from the winter through spring, everything got a little bit busy. Lots of unexpected things, both personally in regards to my health and for my family. And I had to put off a lot of things, including documentary, to call off from work or work multiple jobs here and there. Turned down a lot of things just to take care of this and take care of that. But something was not right. I got a little bit weak, but I usually get tired. You know, I'm a very active person. I stay on top of it with my health, but I haven't experienced this type of weakness, fatigue in my life to the point where I'm usually bedridden all day. And I'm thinking, am I dealing with depression or this? I did everything right, but I just dealt with a chronic fatigue. And I was so scatterbrained, and my personality was all over the place. And but I'm always that person that's like, oh, every setback is a comeback, you know, I'll get right back into it. I used to so many changes here and there, you know, plan B is, or plan W is a lot better than plan A. But in late spring, like between May and June, the job that I had that was like that I got my steady source of income was limited to the point where I was like, I was not making any at all. So basically, I couldn't work there. And I got really scared for the moment. But then it's like, oh, maybe something will come up, you know, because I'm going to be moving here and moving that. But then I got so anxious, and this is why I don't like this hustle culture at all. I was trying to hustle everything, you know, get buckled down a lot. And that even made me more tired, even though I backed off a lot of things because I'm very aware of burnout and all that. But even if I took a break and all that, I still felt tired. I still kept getting weak. And even when I was dealing with a little bit of an ache, my skin would break out. And that doesn't usually happen. And I thought, am I dealing with a sickness that I'm not aware about? And I got tested, I did some checkups, turned out fine, just gave a little bit of got a little bit of an update and warning of please take this, lay off of that, you'll be okay. But I still kept getting weak, and my behavior was so odd. One time I'll be just like, I'm happy, I'm go-lucky, and then after that, mood, I thought I was being bipolar. But even when I make progress, something would have to come up. In the summer, and this happened before the final week of filming for the documentary production, I got robbed. And this is not the first time this happened. I got robbed in 2021 in the summer. And unfortunately, couldn't get my money back. Word to the wise, please be careful when you share your links, especially PayPal. Be very careful because hackers are becoming so advanced into stealing your money. And even though I had everything protected, I just did not know why this happened right before that. But I did a call to action fundraiser, and thankfully I received 75% of the donations needed, but then I had to pay everything else self-funded. And I was worried because I was getting low in income, especially trying to cover for the documentary, pay the bills, especially my medical bills, and while dealing with the responsibility of like, I need to catch up with this and that, and need to be there for my family. And that's why my content I haven't been posting consistently. Even I had to, for context, I post this series on Instagram where I call them raw movement freestyle videos. Basically, it's how I create, how I let loose. Freestyling is a great way for choreographers to workshop, create their own choreography, but it's also a journal for me. But I had to lay off of it because I had to prioritize the things that I had to catch up on. But I was falling apart. And again, going back to why everything was going great, but then something or someone had to get away. I was recently in a car wreck, and I'm wondering, why is this all happening? And September of this year, I completely lost it. I felt so hopeless, so disappointed with myself that I'm failing in everything I do, and in my health, in my goals, finish the documentary, being there for my family, and I just don't know why this was happening. I'm going to post this picture right here that I saw that really answered the question on why I was dealing with all the fatigue, mood swings, even slurred speech. I couldn't even speak correctly, thinking that I thought I had a brain injury or something, or disease. I was sacrificing sleep because the anxiety of trying to catch up with everything, because before everything changed, late spring, I would wake up very early to be there for my parents and then take care of personal things. I would usually work out and do some me time, but then I go to work and then my other work, and then at the end of the day, that would be the time to create content, and that would be on weekdays. And I would stay up all night because I wasn't able to do that during the day. So I would get 5 hours of sleep because I would stay up, guzzling down energy drinks. Not a good idea to consume, not a good drink to consume when you're dealing with severe anxiety and worry. But because I was so worried of falling behind, I sacrificed sleep, ending up from getting 5 hours of sleep to 3 hours of sleep, 1 hour of sleep, and no sleep at all. And I'm very aware about you're not supposed to look at screens, you're supposed to turn off the Wi-Fi. Even if I did that, when I was able to go to sleep, I couldn't sleep because the anxiety was there. So about 2 weeks ago, I went to bed early to bed, early to rise, makes a man and woman healthy and wise. I've seen a lot of improvements, less breakouts in my skin, less aches, especially I was dealing with severe shin splint, but never that happens with me because I can recover faster. But this was 10 times worse, especially making my skin break out. But I'm less achy than usual. I'm recovering from the severe skin breakouts. I thought I had shingles for a moment, or the C word, which I'm not going to say because I don't have it. I'm calling it I don't have it. But It was just my immune system. The stress was just breaking out through my skin. But even though I handled the situation, everything has improved, I still felt disappointed with myself with not posting the content that I wanted to. Even though I did this month, July, posting a new YouTube short every single day, just trying to get back into it and to give a little bit of a hint, a sneak peek of the new trailer for my documentary, which premiered in September. And but still, I did not post the content that I needed to do. And even like for my post-show series for Wonderhole, the season finale episode, I kept saying, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to upload this. And that's the same way that I say, whether it's content related or not, I said, I'm going to do this, but then I radio silence. I'm ghosting everyone, again, with the odd behaviors. And looking back for like the times I said, I'm going to post this, and I make another post saying like, oh, due to this, do that, which things happen, you know, like things unexpectedly happen and they change. But then there was moments where I was just like, I'm dealing with burnout, or I'm just like, my mood is not the best. And of course, you know, getting enough sleep changed things, but I still feel it with regret of just like promising this and then breaking my promise, and just not focusing, being scatterbrained. And I admit that I'm a workaholic. Again, this is why I don't like this hustle culture. And because it will break you. So I'm still disappointed with like the things, the goals that I did not achieve this year, like moving, being like, you know, in a stable place financially, not making and sharing the content that I wanted to, sacrificing something that is a lot of things that were good for me in many ways, dancing, sleeping, stay on top of my health. And and of course with like my mood, like I'm very grouchy, and I just like felt like I hurt everyone's feelings, whether on the internet or not. So if you're seeing this, I'm sorry for like being so sporadic with my behavior and not keeping my promises. And second, because like I'm fully relying on like freelance and temp jobs, but thankfully I have a job that I start in a few weeks, which that'll help me get back to speed. But still, it's that fear of like not knowing when your next paycheck is going to come in and where you're going to be when you have to be prepared to pay that bill, and with like especially for my medical bills. I mean, I just want to let you know my content is not monetized yet, but so I'm not making any income on my content yet, and it's very scary to take the chances when you don't know where you are going to be financially. But there's a thing about like hope and faith. Even though the situation you're in right now, it's not the end. There's something better, but we gotta take those risks. Even though our flesh and our mind will say like, but because of this would happen, and trauma will come up, and then bringing up the logical things that could happen because you've seen this happen, you've been through this. But you can decide that if you want to break free from that, and you know, it's okay to let your feelings be known, but you know that you can overcome them correctly and keep on going. So I do not want to just keep up with it. You start dealing with this deja vu of like overburdening myself, going through another year not accomplishing everything. And if you love something, you gotta let it go. So I had to turn down a few jobs that I thought I was going to make a lot of good income, but it was just hurting me because I had to heal. and even telling my parents that I wasn't going to be like full-time being their caretaker. I'll help with them, I'll support them, but I can't just like do everything when I'm half full or empty. And I know someone will help them when it's time for me to go, or when I have to go to my new job, or or something better will happen. And especially working on the content of the documentary, which I'm really going to focus on that for the rest of 2025, which I'll talk about that in the next in the update video in regards to the documentary. It's scary, I know, but I just got to believe and know that everything will be okay. Even though things were going crazy, but there's hope, there's light in the midst of our storms, which is, it's raining right now as I'm filming this, but things will get better. And I can't just like stop the things that are beneficial for me. I mean, not for everyone, let me rephrase that. That I was given the gift of creating, performing, especially creating content, dancing, singing, which maybe you'll see some singing content here, or just being me. And even though like for the majority of the year I was not myself, and now I'm just like understanding again who I am. So I'm going to embrace all the things that have helped me and healed me a lot, especially praying and meditation, along with dancing, creating. It's not just for getting the clicks or attention, it's for me. And when you do it out of love, people that see what you created out of love will feel it, and they'll be inspired by it. So if you see this, just please pray for me that everything will go okay, nothing bad will happen. And yeah, and I know that if you're probably sitting here, you're probably going to go through, or are going through, a very similar thing like I've gone through. That's a little mouthful right there, but there is a beauty in ashes, you know what they say. So thinking of you and praying for you as well, that things will get better, even though my flesh will still say, no, it's not, but it will. Just like when it's raining right now, I know that skies will be clear again. It may not happen immediately. It may happen tonight, or it may happen the next morning, but it's all about patience and hope and faith. That's why I say in my motto when I close my videos, keep the faith and be love and be random. So, but that's just what's happening with my life. Now, with my YouTube channel, I'm still trying to experiment new ways of creating, even though that 2025 is almost over, but it's better late than ever. But I'm exploring some new ways to share content, both on my YouTube channel and Instagram. And of course, there's going to be like the mythical inspired content, dance content, and storytelling, hot videos, I guess. I'm working on one where it's a two-part story thing about sharing my perspective and an experience, especially what just happened recently. Not this whole thing, but like, it's a good one. It's a good, happy story. I want to create content where it's something that I love and appreciate, but I want to share to others, because we need a lot of content that needs that hope, needs that joy, needs that inspiration, and something new. Just like for me, I'm always learning and growing. And I don't have a set schedule yet. I'm just experimenting what happens, you know, trying to pay attention what works for me according to the algorithm. But sometimes you gotta to ignore the algorithm for a moment and just listen how you feel right now, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So yeah, well, I know this was kind of all over the place. I usually do something like this on my Instagram, sharing my random Rapha thoughts, as I call them. But like I said, I want to do it in a new way of creating this video instead of just like making so many attempts and filming in my creative workspace. But always gotta take those chances to do something new, and because you'll learn, you'll mature, you grow, you live, you thrive, all that jazz hands. But yeah, and this is the first video because out of the videos I've done for this one, I was just stumbling because I was just so anxious, but I had to breathe. And of course there's something about going outside, you know? Maybe I'll do more of these videos where I just go outside and talk, you know? But we'll see. But I hope this brought a little bit of clarity, understanding, and again, I do apologize, but I appreciate you understanding, your patience, and your incredible support in all I do, whether if it has to do with my creative journey, documentary, or supporting me. I appreciate that. If this really made sense, or you like this video, click that like button. It really does wonders. Feel free to comment down below if you want to send some encouragement. Feel free to do so. I always read the comments down below because, you know, it's not just like, oh, I have my subscribers and followers. I mean, like, you are part of my family. Like, it's very hard, very strange for me to say this, but like, I'm having a little community right here, and hopefully that and I can improve with sharing my content, that it'll continue to grow, because there's something about community. And of course, with like the documentary I'm doing, it has to do, one of the messages in the film is about community, so I appreciate all of you. And if you want to be on the lookout for the content that I mentioned or did not mention, make sure you subscribe and click that bell. And yeah, well, I'm going to end it right here before it gets stormy, but it's nice though, you know. I think you'll probably hear in the background the rain, the sprinkles, a little bit of ASMR. Will I ever do an ASMR video? Well, I did some in a few videos, but who knows? The possibilities are endless. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video, the update video for the documentary. If it's up and ready, you can click it right here. And yeah, I'll see you there. But as always, remember, keep the faith, give love, and be random. Bye. Jazz hands.